Yeah, I quit after a year. Get somebody else to do it. I do have a referral if y'all need one. Yeah, I just had to make a decision and I decided to quit. What am I doing here? Are we gonna get into it? That's a controversial topic. Personal development and business development go hand in hand. If somebody is watching this, I'm gonna just tell you right now, increase your rates. Child, make your career correlate with your life goals.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine.
Hey y'all, it's Kim with the K. Come back to you guys with a video about a lawyer that actually loves her job. What? That's too far. Hey y'all, it's Kim with the K. Come back to you guys with another video on why I quit my law firm job and why I'm happier now. No, okay. Let's talk about my education. So, graduated from high school, went to college. I did not know what my major was gonna be. I had no idea. I thought I was gonna continue to do the theater route because I have a background in performing arts. I love theater. I love being on stage. I love everything about that. I love being in front of the camera, behind the camera. I love production. I love it. I'm a creative soul, truly, at heart. But I was scared, okay? I was super scared. I was never really a risk taker in my life. I was like, babe, we just gonna get through this the best we can, go to college, because that's what I was told to do. Got to college, had to pick a major your second year, and I talked to my advisor who was a lawyer, and he was like, hey, just try it out. And I'm like, sir, I don't even like school, let alone go to law school. You're tripping. Tried out the classes that he suggested. I fell in love. What really made me fall in love with law and decide to go to law school was not only that advisor, but also, side note, ignore my notes, I'm getting them done this week. But also was joining the mock trial team because it kind of made me feel like that feeling I got on stage when I was in the courtroom. So I was like, babe, if I get accepted, I'ma go. And that's when I kind of picked up my camera and started sharing some of that journey on my YouTube channel. Those videos are still on my channel if you guys want to check that out. I'll pop it up on the screen so you guys can see. Some of them have been privated because I was young, baby. I was doing the best I can, but I vlogged quite a bit of my law school journey, so definitely check that out. Oh, I also want to say, you don't have to sit and watch this video. This is one of the videos you can just listen to me talk, share my journey, share my experience, some tips and tricks that I want to give you guys before the next several videos that I'm going to spill the tea on the influencer marketing industry, because I got some things I want to say, some things I want to spill, some tea I want to pour. Do you feel me? Some tea has been brewing. Okay, we get it. We get the tea. We get the tea. Of course, I'm still gonna post vlogs and all that, but I definitely want to share a little bit of my expertise that I've learned across the years of being in this industry, not only being a creator, but also being a consultant and a lawyer. Back to the video though. Where were we? Law school. So I said, if I get accepted into law school, I'ma go. Child, I got accepted into several schools, so I went, yeah. Got in law school, of law that experience. I had an amazing law school experience. That first year made me fight for my life. I'm talking about fist fight in the street. I almost didn't make it. But by the grace of God, my second semester, I made Dean's List. So it really challenged me in so many different ways, analytically, logically, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like, it was such a challenge, but I loved it. I loved it. And the best thing I loved about law school was trial team. And boss up. Building a community in your law school experience is so important. That's a side note, but like, it just really is. Fast forward through law school, I got a clerkship with a law firm. I also clerked at the DA's office. I actually clerked at the DA's office both summers because my major in college was political science with a minor in criminology. I was like, okay, if I go to law school, I'm gonna be a criminal lawyer. Didn't do that. I still love criminal law, but not my testimony, but get somebody else to do it. I do have a referral if y'all need one. Anyway, so I clerked at a law firm, and this was actually my second summer. So how law school works, it's a 3-year program. You get 2 summers to kind of determine what you want to do. But of course, there's other ways that you can determine. So it's not just those 2 summers. Don't freak out, law students, if y'all watching this. That's a different video for a different time that might not be on this channel, but we'll get into that later. Ask me a question down below. So what I will say is, the law firm that I worked at during that summer and during the school year gave me a job offer, and I was so excited. But it was an area of law that I never really considered, and honestly I was like, it's cool. But then I slowly but surely fell in love with it. So I actually ended up taking that job offer and practicing in employment litigation for a year before I quit. Yeah, I quit after a year. Yeah, it was unplanned but planned. Does that make sense? So I didn't go into that job thinking, okay, I'm gonna just rock with this for a year and then, yeah, I'm also deuces. You know, that's not what I did, but that's just what happened. Technically, I was at that law firm for a total of 2.5 years, 1 full year as an attorney, and I really enjoyed that experience. I'll say there were moments where I was like, I felt that tug, like, this ain't it, sis. Like, this ain't where you need to be, okay? But I was not being obedient, and if you don't believe in God, baby, just insert your own whatever you got going on, but I believe in God. So I was not being obedient to God, but eventually it was kind of like, He pushed me where it was a fork in the road and I had to make a decision. Because all during this time, law school, law firm life, I was creating content here on YouTube as well as Instagram, throwing a little bit of TikTok, you feel me? And yeah, I just had to make a decision and I decided to quit. There are so many factors. I'll pop up some other videos down in the description box below so you guys can check those videos out because they were fresh on my mind, my fresh thoughts right out of the quitting journey. So definitely refer to that video, but I did want to just kind of touch on some topics for any new people in this video. Quit the job, and the reason why I quit isn't just one, it's so many layers. One, the firm I worked at did start to question my social media. They were completely up to date about it. They knew everything about it. So it was like, what's really good, my guy? Why are you upset? Why are you my business? Don't do that. So that kind of became an issue. The second thing I would say would be, I was already matching my income from the law firm. And truth be told, I wasn't making that much and I should have negotiated my salary. Another topic for another day. But even with that being said, if I'm doing something that I love and I'm matching my salary, what am I doing here? Miserable. I did not want to be there. I loved the area of law, but I did not quite like the traditional cadence and politics that comes along with law firm life. And what I mean by that is, are we gonna get into it? There's a hierarchy that happens in law firms. That just is what it is. I get it. When you've been working there for several years, of course there are going to be perks and benefits. However, I do think there is somewhat of an issue, not in every firm, but in most firms, where associates really just get the shit into the stick, for a lack of better words. But I get it. Hierarchy just wasn't meant for me. Entrepreneurship was in my blood, okay? I'm gonna leave that where that's at, because that's a controversial topic, baby. And I'm not about to argue with y'all. I'm not about to argue with y'all. Because one thing about me, you don't want to get in this debate. I'm a lawyer, licensed, baby. And any attorneys out there, your opinion is yours, mine is mine. Just be blessed and move on. I quit, I had already matched my salary, and I already had ongoing payments coming in for the next several months. So I really felt secure to leave. And I had a savings. Yeah, 6 months, ended up being 3 months, topic for another day. If you know, you know, okay? So that was that. I quit my job and I remember sitting around looking like, now what? Luckily at the time I had a business coach. She was so helpful and such a staple in my journey because I just needed guidance. I wasn't even quite sure how to accept the guidance or what type of guidance I needed, but it was nice to have someone rooting for me. I also had 2 people on my team who are no longer on my team now, but they were really helpful, just making sure that I was doing something, because I had never been an entrepreneur. It was the first time in my life where I had to really ask myself, what do you want to do next? What does your life look like? What are your life and career goals? Do they match up? It was the first time I got to really ask myself that. And I quickly realized that personal development and business development go hand in hand. When I was good, my business was thriving. When I was not good, my business therefore reflected that. And that's what really brought me into like a self-care, healing, therapy, mental health focus. I've always loved those things, don't get me wrong, but I will say being an entrepreneur challenged me in ways that I didn't even know could challenge somebody. I was like, good God. But I loved it. Made 6 figures and I was like, okay, bet, we really in the game. But I told myself when I quit, you have 1 year. Just look at it like you have 1 year to figure it out. Give yourself 1 year to bet on yourself. That 1 year, just 1 year to bet on yourself and see what happens. And now we're 3 years out, almost 3 years. 3 years will be September 11th. Technically, that's when I put in my resignation. And then September 25th? I think 25th was the last day, something like that. It's in my calendar. But yeah, almost 3 years and we're still thriving. We're still going. There's been ups, there's been downs, but I absolutely love it. So I just want to share a little bit of that journey because some of you don't know. And yeah. So now I'm gonna share a few pros and cons of entrepreneurship. Ooh, should I start with pros or cons? Ooh, let's start with cons and then we'll end with positivity, like pros, okay? So the first con I wanna talk about, and these are in no certain order, is financial instability. So what I mean by that is sometimes you don't know how much you're making per month. Honestly, I'd say most entrepreneurs don't know. Yes, you have projections and yes, you can use data from previous month and stuff like that, but long story short, you don't know how much you're making per month, and that can be stressful. It can be overwhelming, and it's probably something that you've never experienced if you've never had an entrepreneurship experience. So for me, coming from a strict bi-weekly payment on a salary, and I knew exactly how much I was making, it was so much easier to budget and be on track for my financial goals. But with entrepreneurship, threw me a little loophole. Even though I had a savings in the beginning, it still was a little bit of a adjustment, to say the least. even now it ebbs and flows. There's some months I'm right on target, other months where I am not making much. I made zero some months, okay? But it all evens out, and it's just getting used to seeing how your money ebbs and flows. I will say I'm a little bit more used to it now, but there is still a level of, dang, if I'm not working, if my business isn't running, if my team isn't working, if things aren't getting done, I gotta do them because it's my business and things have to keep moving, and I have to focus on so many different roles, which leads me into the second con. And mind you, these cons are like cons, pros, cons, you know, they ebb and flow. There's pros and cons to anything that you do, even in a 9 to 5. The difference is I actually love my job and I want to work towards. The pros really always outweigh the cons because like I want to do this. Anyway, that leads me to the second con, which is a high level of responsibility. What I mean by that is you are making a ton of decisions, which is why I always tell y'all I try to reduce my decision fatigue wherever I can, okay? Because my mind is constantly thinking of ways to progress the business. I'm having to be the marketer. I'm having to do the analysis. I'm having to review the data. I'm having to make sure that I'm managing my team, being a good leader, being a good CEO, making sure my accountant has all the documentation that she needs. There's so many different hats that us entrepreneurs wear, which again, high level responsibility. Then trial, and you paying people. Oh, and your bills need to be paid. It can be a lot. It can be a lot. These are things that you guys need to think about before you just quit your job, baby. Let me tell you, I do love my job. I am happy that I quit though. But food for thought. The last con I want to talk about is isolation. This actually threw me for a loop at first because I'm thinking, oh, I have more time. I can meet with my friends. I can hang out. But a lot of the growth phase of entrepreneurship is isolating. You are head down, putting in the grunt work. And for me, a lot of the work that I do, I have to isolate. I cannot be editing and listen to my friends to the same story about they raggedy bald headed. But when you start to build a team, you now have people that you can bounce ideas off of, that are rooting for you, that you're rooting for. So that's a really nice feeling. But still, being a business owner can be really isolating. Oh, I'll also add this. Get a business coach or an advisor or a mentor or read a book, something, because you're not meant to figure it all out by yourself. Add that in for you and for me. I'm working on that, getting a mentor and things. But I've been reading a ton of books. I'll leave a few books down in the description box below that I have loved, that have really motivated, inspired, and helped me along this entrepreneurship journey. The first pro I want to talk about is the fact that there's no financial ceiling. Yes. You can make as much money as you want. Essentially, right? That's the theory. Because when you work for a company, they usually have a system or a process as to how you get your next salary increase, or you get your next position increase, or you become manager, or etc. Whatever the case may be at your company, in your position, in your industry, you are able to level up in a certain manner, in a certain way, but there's still that like, you can only go so far, unless you want to buy the company. I guess you become the CEO and the founder. But still, there's a level, there's a cap essentially. But when you're an entrepreneur, you're at the top. That's so inappropriate and not good for this. But you are at the top. Like, you're at the top. There's no one above you besides God. You feel me? But seriously, there's no financial ceiling. It is a great feeling to know I can truly charge for my skills, for my expertise, for my experience, without having to consider a company cap or a company hourly rate or whatever the case may be that is holding you back. It feels really good to feel like I'm actually making the money that I deserve based on those things. Oh, it's got chills. I love that. But it doesn't mean every entrepreneur is making a ton of money, right? It doesn't mean every entrepreneur is actually charging what they deserve. There is levels to that as well. Unfortunately, you don't just start at the gate, charge $10,000. Now you can. I'm not saying you can't. But most people don't, because we have money mindset blocks that we have to work through, that I'm glad to say that I'm on the up and up to healing, because I'm not going to let my mindset and societal norms and what I should be charging or what I'm used to getting paid hold me back from my actual rates, my actual fees, what I actually deserve based on things that I just referenced, your skill set, your degree, your experience, your knowledge, etc. So if somebody is watching this, I'm gonna just tell you right now, increase your rates. You deserve it. Somebody will pay. Everyone won't, but they're not your clients. Somebody will pay, and when they do, it's only up from there. So I kind of hit to the second pro earlier, but the second pro I want to talk about is the freedom and creativity and innovation. What I mean by that is you are more than capable and able to choose your clients how you want and offer services however, whenever, pivot however you need, okay? You don't have to stick to any script. It is your business. It is your company. You are an entrepreneur, and it is a great feeling to not have to just take whatever task and whatever thing your boss say and just do. You like, I don't even like this. Stop doing it. As an entrepreneur, I could just be like, didn't like it, take the service off. Of course, there's strategy and pivots and things like that you have to consider, right? Like, don't just be like, well, I'm starting a sewing company even though I was actually a plumbing company. Huh? Give us, you got to transition clients out and restructure your business, etc. But essentially, you have freedom to do whatever you want creatively and innovatively. It's amazing. Is innovatively a word? Anyway, I love it personally. I truly feel like that is like an underrated advantage to entrepreneurship. Being able to cultivate a company culture however you want, being able to cultivate any type of clientele that you would like to serve. That's good. I hope somebody took a note on that, because that's the one, not the two. There are so many unhappy people at jobs, not even because they don't like their job, it's because maybe they're having to service clients that they don't like, or like they have to take certain tasks that they know is not even really truly allowing them to exercise their skill set or their knowledge or their experience. Child. Because one thing about it, and two things for sure, is I don't have to convince anyone anything in my company. I run this bit. Okay? Yeah, I love that. The last pro I want to talk about entrepreneurship is probably one of the biggest and most obvious ones, which is time flexibility. I can go anywhere. I can do anything. There's pros and cons of that because you still got to work. No one's going to tell you to do it, and you still got to do it. But I love that if there is an issue that comes up, let's say I need to book a flight because a family member's sick, or let's say I need to take a mental health day, I can do so. I can do so, and it feels really good. I can prioritize work-life balance. I can set boundaries and be stern and be strict. I don't have to ask for PTO. I don't have to ask for these things. I truly feel like that is worth any con for me. Being able to travel how I like and still work. And a lot of people now can do that with working remote, baby. So it's a win is a win. But with entrepreneurship, it's just, it feels really good. It feels really good to be able to have the ultimate say-so in where your time goes. I think that might be my favorite pro. There's so many other ones. But those are just 3 pros and 3 cons that I wanted to touch on. And let's do some rapid fire questions so I can let you guys go, because y'all know I like to talk. And again, feel free to ask me any questions, comments, concerns down in the comment section below. And I'm going to be talking about AI in the law. I don't know if that's next, but I'm going to be talking about Miss AI. So if y'all have questions on that, definitely ask me. I'm going to be sharing my tips and tricks on influencer marketing contracts, because that is my specialty. I primarily focus on social media influencer marketing contracts and working with digital creators and helping them understand their contracts and drafting their contracts, revising their contracts, and giving creators the confidence when it comes to negotiating their brand partnerships. Because negotiating skills really is a skill. People throw the word around, but baby, it is a skill. So if you guys need some help, I'll leave links down below for that as well. If you want to work with me, I'm here to be a resource. I'm here to help. And we're adding some new things coming in the next coming months, so stay tuned for that. Okay, let's get into the questions. These questions are a combination of questions you guys have asked me over my Instagram. That's tend to be where I do my polls. It's just quicker and easier. But I do utilize the YouTube community tab sometimes too, so make sure you guys are checking there and following me on my Instagram so you guys are always getting your questions asked and seen and heard, etc. I feel like it's just an easier way to communicate. And these are just some questions that I wanted to answer. The first question is, if I have a gifting opportunity with a brand, do I actually need a contract? The answer is yes and no. It depends. The lawyer in me is like, girl, not you saying it depends. So essentially, you would need a contract in this scenario if the gifting opportunity comes along with an obligation. What I mean by that is the brand is asking you, if we send you over this lipstick, you're obligated to post an Instagram and feed post. Therefore, you want to know the terms of that obligation. You want to understand when you're posting, how long does the post need to stay on your page? Does the brand have usage? All of those questions therefore need to be answered. And the best way to answer that is in a contract. So you have a one-stop shop to go to if you ever need to implement or exercise any of your rights. So you need a contract if there are obligations attached. If there are not, a little pro tip I'm gonna give you guys is just tell the brand that, yes, I'll accept this gifting opportunity. However, I am not obligated to post, advertise, or market your products. If you'd like to discuss those things, I'd be glad to send over my rates. Period. Did you always want to be a lawyer? No, I did not always want to be a lawyer. As you guys kind of heard in the beginning of this video, my story, didn't always want to be a lawyer, but I fell into it, and now I was able to cultivate this happy medium and best of both worlds feeling that I get with being a lawyer, but also being a creative. And it honestly feels like a dream sometimes, y'all. It feels like a dream. I'd be like, wow, it's my whole job. And it is. So anybody out there that is a lawyer or a law student watching this, you can make your law degree work for you. You don't have to work for it. You can literally do anything with your degree. And this goes for anyone in any field, in any industry, degreed or not. Make your career correlate with your life goals, not the other way around. That alone has really helped my mindset and helped me make just better decisions for myself and for my business and for my overall life and well-being. What are 3 contracts or provisions that I need in my influencer marketing contracts? The first, I would say, no order again. The first, I would absolutely say you need a termination clause because you need a way out. If that brand gets into a scandal, baby, you don't want to be involved. Trust me, you don't want to be involved, okay? So you want a way out. Just like the brand usually has a way out, make sure you have a way out as well. The second thing I would say you need to include is specific details on the usage rights and licensing that you're allowing them to have. This is usually under like ownership or licensing and usage rights, etc. in the contract. Make sure that you know when they're using your content, how they're using it, what content, where is it going, for how long, if they're paying you, etc. So you want to make sure you know the details of that. This is just like a quick overview, by the way. The third thing you want to absolutely have in there, mind you, there are several other things you need to have in your contract, but don't just have these. If the brand sends you a contract with just these, contact me personally because it's not enough. Third thing you need to have in your contract is payment terms. You want to know when you're being compensated. You want to know how you're being compensated. You want to know when the compensation begins, i.e., do you need to send an invoice before the net 30 or net 60 days begin to run? Are you getting paid immediately? Is it 50 up front, 50 later? You want to know the terms, but because you don't want to do all that work and it's giving very much, where's the money? Where's my money? I don't even know how the money's getting. You want to know about the payment terms, okay? But those are just 3. There are so many other things and you just need to have in your contract and be aware of. What do I do if a brand steals my content? Oh, this makes me so angry because it's not only brands and companies that are doing this, it's other creators. Stop it. It's crazy. Are you crazy? How dare you steal your coworkers' content? What? It's giving very much copyright infringement. Literally, it is copyright infringement. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? It's illegal. Don't do that. But what you can do as a creator is don't just bash the brand first, please. Wait. You can be professional petty and get them later on if they don't respond. But first things first, contact them. Whether it's via email, whether it's sending a letter. I know it's kind of old school, but contact them via email or DM. And if you don't know where to find their email, I'm gonna give y'all a little pro tip here. I'm just telling all I'm seeing in this video. Scroll all the way down on their website. In their privacy policy, they usually are obligated to put a email. They really are obligated, but people don't. Everybody don't follow the law. They don't follow the rules, okay? But look for some type of contact and send an email. In this email, you're going to attach a cease and desist letter. Essentially, this letter is going to tell them that they need to immediately take down the content, link it, put a screenshot, etc., to let them know that you are on notice that they're infringing on your copyright. You have not allowed them any type of authorization to use this content, therefore they need to immediately take it down and put a date by when they need to take it down. I actually have a cease and desist template letter on my website. If you guys want to use that, I will leave a link for that to help y'all because it's sick, it's annoying, and it's frustrating. And I'll say it's even frustrating for me as a lawyer because it's such a new industry. Sometimes my hands are tied. There's not much guidance for us as lawyers either. That's why I'm like, you know what? Let me get back to talking about this because I'm passionate about it. And I want to help find ways to help you. I don't want us creators out here just bopping along and we're not protected and then go to lawyers and the law is like, baby, ain't no protection. Which unfortunately that's like the justice system. Another topic for another day, baby. Another topic for another day. What is your favorite thing about your job? Oh my gosh. Oh my God, honestly, there's so many things. Ooh, I don't know. All the pros. No, something else that I love about my job is building community. And it may sound cheesy, but like I'm an only child and I love connecting with people. I feel like it's a gift that I have. I love networking. I love meeting new people. I love getting to know them. I love speaking. I love sharing the knowledge and experience that I have and the value that I can bring to someone. It really fuels me. Like I feel fueled. Whenever I leave something like work related, I try to evaluate like, was that soul sucking or soul filling? And speaking to me is soul filling a lot of times. So I don't know. I love you guys. I appreciate this community that I'm building and have built. Like we solid. If we locked in, ain't no switch it up. Yeah. So I love being able to reach thousands of people across the world. I literally met someone in Paris. What? And had a lunch with her who was an internet fan member. Hey sis, hey girl. It's just so crazy to me. Like I am just, the older you get, all you do is cry, I swear. I'm just really grateful. I'm really grateful to each and every one of you guys for allowing me to do this. It's wild. I couldn't have quit my job without this. I couldn't have. So my favorite thing about this job is you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you did enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys are sharing my channel and commenting below any additional questions you guys want me to address. Let me know if you like this video. I'm not really big on sit down videos. I'm not gonna hold y'all. So I don't wanna make these videos only sit down all the time. Today I was just in a time crunch. So it was giving sit down and film and get the content out. Because what are we doing this year? We're posting the content. My 2 words of the year is create and faith. And baby, we are going into Q3 strong. Creating and faithing. Faithing, I said it. I appreciate each and every one of you guys so much. If you don't know, I always end my videos with an affirmation. So if you did make it this far in the video, comment below. I always try to make these related to the video, and I just thought of something that I didn't talk about in the video, and I'm gonna plug it here if you guys made it to the end, and then I'll give you guys the affirmation because it's directly related. I remember the feeling I got when I quit of who am I outside of my job? Who am I outside of this job title? How do I introduce myself outside of this job title? And I had no idea. I was just, hi, I'm Cameron Buckner. I'm an associate attorney at X. Hi, I'm Cameron Buckner. I'm a law student. Hi, I'm Cameron Buckner. I'm a lawyer at X. I work here. I do this. I accomplish this. And it took me a while to really get over that. That to me was the hardest part of quitting, was detaching myself from a job title. And when I did that, it was like, oh, there she is. I love her. I'm her. I'm her, period. No, but I found myself in a time that I didn't realize I had been lost. And I could just do a whole video on that. So I'll leave it at that. But you are so much more than a job title. If you've been on my channel, then you know I'm on this year of becoming the best me and becoming more me. Every day I want to be more me, not more of something else, not a different title. I just want to be more me. And if that includes being a lawyer influencer, great. If that includes someone that loves mental health, I love that. If that includes someone that loves bar classes, great. But I just want you guys to focus on being more you, not just a title. So if you made this far in the video, comment below. I am not my job title. I am so much more. I love that. Let me run that back one time for the one time. I am not my job title. I am so much more. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Later.